Can you just walk us through that game winner and that final shot?
Yeah, just trying to get the last shot. I knew a double was coming, so it was going to be hard to get in the paint. And just wanted to get it with the horn going off. Still didn't do that, but, we'll take it.
And then in talking to Jordan Goodwin post-game, he had said, too, he just felt like the team, you guys have that belief that you could win tonight and just that trust in one another. Can you just talk about kind of that mentality that you have?
Yeah, we the first time we played them, I think we matched up well with them. Went deep in the fourth quarter. Obviously, they're everybody's target. Those are the champs, and they're seasoned. They're a really good team, so that's who you want to match yourself up against. And we all believed in it, and we came out with a big one tonight.
Devin, obviously you hit multiple game winners throughout your career, but does it ever get old, that feeling of having the ball in your hands at the end of the game?
Hell no. I never will. Yeah, that's a feeling that, you can't replicate. I'm not close to retirement, but, whenever that day comes, you'll look back on those moments and, that you dreamed of as a kid, with the team trusting you with the ball in their hands no matter what the result is. And, tonight I was on the good side of it.
You could have forced some shots early, but you kept passing the ball, and it led to guys finally started making shots. Maybe just take me through that mentality that you have where, okay, I'm still going to trust the teammate even if shots aren't falling. Yeah,
that's my MO. I think some people give me a hard time about that. But, they have really good on-ball defenders and multiple of them too. So that's very rare for a team. And, the times they put two on it, I try to get off it quick as possible. It's not always the assist pass. Sometimes it's pass and then one more. I think Goody got a lot of those in the corner tonight. So, we all believe in each other as a team. Everybody works on this team, and we believe in each other.
Last thing I had was you got to the line tonight, and I know that I'm watching you, and you was getting hit multiple times, and how were you able to persevere and stick with it when, does it help that you were getting to the line and that led you to continue to do it or not?
Yeah, you still have to assert yourself in the game, whether I'm getting to the line or, like I just said, creating another opportunity for a teammate. They're a super physical team. Like I just said, they're really good on-ball defenders, so, trying to impose my will offensively.
When Jalen Williams hits that shot with 8 seconds left to tie it up, what's going through your mind?
Well, it's our turn. Just slow it down. You've been here before. Imagination and workouts in the summer, always come down to moments like that. So, I feel like I've been there before.
And you mentioned, you anticipated a double coming. That's Alex Caruso guarding you. That's one of the best perimeter defenders in the league. What's your confidence level that you can get up a good look against that level of defender in that situation?
Yeah, pretty confident.
And then last one for me. First time you played him, tight game. You had to sit there and watch the second time, not such a tight game.
Mm-hmm.
Down 18, how do you guys, maintain the belief, maintain the confidence that you can come back against that team?
Yeah, it's the NBA. We've been on both sides of that this year. We've made comebacks and we've given up leads. So, we just got to stick with it. Whether you're making or missing shots, still continue to make the right play. Turn it up a little bit defensively, make it tough on them. I think we did a good job all around on all that tonight.
Hey, Buck, it's obviously been a little bit of a grind for you this year from three-point range, but
Yeah.
Didn't look like it on that last shot, obviously. How have you kept your confidence, and what's it been like kind of battling through the stretch?
Yeah, it's tough. It's a mental game. I've went through stretches like this before, probably not to this extent, so it's frustrating, especially when you put the reps in practice and you make all of them, then you go out there and you still miss. So it's all mental in this game. So, hopefully this can be the turning point and, get that out of my head and, make the shots that I shoot.
Book, when it comes to your unselfishness leading to more confidence for your teammates when they're getting those open shots, do you remember the first time you noticed that from a teammate, that your continual looking for them despite the situation, despite their shooting numbers. Do you remember when that started to kick in?
I don't trust everybody like that. You know, in high school, I had a lot of teammates where I had to look off and shoot over 2 or 3 people. But, you know, this group specifically, you know, you watch these guys put the work in. We've matched up against each other in training camp. Their confidence is high. They tell you, you know, the games that teams are throwing those junk defenses, they're like, I'm ready. You know, even if they miss 2 or 3 in a row, I know Goody will come to me like, I got the next one for you. So, you know, just communication and trust throughout the whole team.
It was Goody tonight. It's been so many other guys throughout the year so far helping step up offensively without Jalen and Grace. Is that something you attribute to, like back in like September and October, noticing the group click and carry over from that?
Yeah, it's just the next man up mentality. We've been living by that. Obviously, we miss those guys out there, and you know, some games, you know, I'll be like, man, if Grayson or Jalen was right there, you know, this defense wouldn't be happening. But still, like I said, all the way down the line, there's still some people that don't get in the game that, you know, can knock down those shots that I trust. So, you know, it's the NBA. We have a super talented group and a super confident group.
Hey, Devin, when you attract 2 on the ball, what makes this group different or better in terms of the way things are spaced and the way your shooters, Goody, Royce, Colin, just space without it?
Yeah, just what you said, you know, just knowing the spacing, you know, where the double is coming in on the floor and where the advantage is on the backside. Having multiple outlets when I get double, not just one person to pass it to. You know, I think everybody needs to take a step towards the ball, and then that next man that gets it has to have a 0.5 mindset. You know, either shoot it, make one more pass, or drive the ball. You know, so it has to be quick so we can get our advantage on the backside.
Last 3, Nick, Steve, and Jake. Buck, is Goody a different level of shooter than when he was here a couple years ago?
I think you can tell he's been working. You know, the NBA is a lot of opportunity. It comes with opportunity. It comes with fit, situation. You know, so when you're only getting in for 5 to 10 minutes a game, those shots are a lot harder than when you know that you're playing 25 to 30 minutes. And, you know, that's how you find rhythm, and, you know, that's what he's doing.
And I know you're always going to keep your emotions in check, but you hit that shot. I think it was a couple of head nods. That's about it. What are you actually feeling there?
Man, get a stop. I always say, man, I have a problem with leaving time on the clock. Maybe we get a celebration one day once the horn goes off. But, you know, they had a pretty clean look in the corner, too. So I never want to be the guy that celebrates too early and then we're in overtime and end up losing. That hurt even worse.
Last one, Steve.
Devin, it feels like I think you all are 9-6 in the clutch right now this season. It feels like as games get harder and get deeper into the games, it feels like y'all find ways to just chip away at the margins and come away with wins. How does that kind of speak to the identity that you all have established, where it's just regardless of who's available, regardless of opponent, location, y'all are ready?
Yeah, we just keep going. You know, we've fought ourselves back in the games, ended up losing at the end too, but coach would come in after the game and be like, you know, you guys still fought. And, you know, that's what carries a team through a long season. And I'm glad that we've been in so many of these situations thus far. I think it's good stepping stones and building blocks for the playoffs or, you know, late season games that matter for getting into the playoffs.
Thank you.
Yep.